Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge podcast, episode number 10, I believe, with WildKnight, first time on the podcast, and returning from the old days of the podcast, myself, WSS, Charlie Bucket's grandpa, StraightEdgeSteve, and also Addy the Hero is here. I guess he does things. I don't know.
Hello, I suppose.
So, we've got a topic list set up. I have not yet seen it because I have been too busy playing one of the classic Resident Evils, because screw the new Resident Evil. So, you guys should choose on one to start with.
Alright, so I guess I'll read out the first one. And I quote, it's a new year.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. Keen observation, Addy.
You're the rooster.
Yeah, that'd be great if I gave a shit about Asian history.
Wow. Racism right off the bat. You hear this?
Oh, well, that's why Steve and I are here, to bring that Indiana culture.
Oh, Indiana. Famous for your racism.
I was just going to make
Amongst other things.
And exporting your racism to North Carolina.
Out. Hey.
So, it is a new year. And it feels exactly like last year because we're not even a month in and like 3 or 4 people have already died that matter.
Like?
That one old lady, that one old guy.
So
You are the worst.
So Brandon, explain to us your criteria for people that quote unquote matter in terms of their dying.
It's
Being
people,
older than 50, apparently.
people that MSN, NBC, CNN, and Fox tell me are important.
Oh boy, I step away for a second. Just don't break my legs, and this turns into whatever the hell Steve is doing. Okay, so anyways, yeah, it's a new year, and so far, January has passed. It's probably been one of the most hectic months of my life altogether. But we probably shouldn't talk about my personal life anyways. So, new year, what's there?
Go on. This is Alex therapy hour.
So I auditioned for a play. I completely botched up the audition. I started taking acting classes under an actor from an Oscar-winning film, not Daniel Day-Lewis, unfortunately. I've gone through a testing week, and gives a shit. Moving on. The new year. Does anyone have any notable plans?
Well,
I plan to continue ignoring the fact that I turned 40.
Oh, well. It's always a good thing to just ignore reality, Ted. Just continue to live in your own dream.
Age is just a number. Don't assume my numbers.
I won't dare you, Ted.
Or I'll feed you to my pit bull.
Was it a pit bull? I thought you had like a lab or something.
Long time ago I had a lab, but he died. He got some kind of kidney thing, which was horrible. And now I have a pit bull who thinks he's a lap dog and is not.
It's always the great thing about big dogs, because they always have that mentality. I had this one dog that I can't stand. I'm always mean to the damn thing, but it loves me for some reason. So it always climbs all over me.
And then Brandon has that real ugly dog that is tiny and.
did you just call him ugly?
Did I just call your hedge? Did I just call your hedge dog? No, shut up. That's my pit bull. You know, because like a cat walk. Holy crap, dude.
I'm blinking in and out here. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, speaking of dogs, my aunt and uncle's dog that was almost as old as I am died a few weeks ago.
What the hell are we talking about? Why are we talking about our dogs?
Dogs are
Good
people.
question.
Yeah, I feel like Addie and Gramps are just sitting over there like, seriously, guys?
Basically.
I have dogs, but one's really old and fat and blind. So, and then the other one is Too busy trying to get a scarf off his head.
That sounds like Kentucky.
That first one, it sounded like you were going to keep going and just keep insulting the dog for a while. It's old, and it's fat, and it's blind, and it's stupid, and it just can't do anything right, and it's ugly, and it smells.
It's actually really smart. It's just
All
it can't
dogs
see
smell.
Well, my dog is not having a fun time this past couple of days. So,
Did Wild call my dog ugly?
I can't hear anything. Can't hear anything. I can't tell if you guys are being quiet or if my internet's just shitting its pants.
No, we're just being quiet.
I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
wonderful. This is a podcast, guys.
Yeah,
Talk.
I think we discussed all that this topic has to offer.
Yeah,
honesty.
Basically, more
Wait,
or
this
less.
topic had things to offer?
Good question. So,
All
I
right.
feel like half the topics we set up on any given podcast, we just write down because we want something to show that we did work.
yeah, kinda.
Well,
So,
so I was like, well,
let's
what
hit one of
to do?
these. Let's hit one of these topics. What do we want to talk about? Let's
Video
talk
games
about
that we played in the
games.
past
Talk about
month.
games coming out. Oh, games played in the last month. All right. So for me, that would be nothing of interest because all of them are old.
Hey, I've been playing old games too. So if we just want to talk about new games, then we're not going to be able to do anything.
amen.
I mean, we got a circle of 5 people here who ain't exactly rich. If we want to talk about new games, we can just cut the recording now and be like, okay, we're done.
Oh, I want to make fun of Gramps for wanting to get a Switch.
Well, the Switch, it's a Nintendo console, so it's going to suck, but it looks like it might have some fun games that should totally be on some other console.
Yeah, like ARMS.
I'm a.
RVD's favorite game.
Oh, did you seriously just make an RVD pun?
Yes, I did.
Talking about old. Okay. So
And he's Hungarian, so he's just old in spirit.
I've been playing. My kid bought Skyrim, so I played like 20 minutes maybe of that, long enough to record some video of me running around with a lightsaber executing people, and I haven't touched it since.
Oh, well, I feel like you're probably not missing out on a whole lot.
Yeah, Skyrim is definitely not my thing, but
It
I
was
thought I'd give it a try.
it was mine a couple of years ago, but when I go back now, it's just kind of boring.
I thought fighting dragons felt really awkward on that game. Was my biggest complaint.
Fighting anything feels really awkward in Bethesda games. They just can't design a system that doesn't feel floaty. Like, I mean, your characters it feels like you're controlling a mannequin half the time, you know?
I would agree.
Fallout 4 started to fix it. We'll have to see where Elder Scrolls 6 goes whenever it inevitably comes out. I don't know. I like the premise of most Bethesda games, but only a few of them have I really, really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed Morrowind, but I don't remember much about it because that was like 12 years ago I played it. I haven't played it since. So
I picked it up on Steam a couple of years ago. I tried to start it, and I remember just walking down paths, and there was nothing. Just me walking down a path.
it sounds like you had a blast, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess you could say it was ahead of its time, because nowadays walking simulators are all the rage on PC.
walking simulator. You know.
Yes, I don't
Games like
understand
Dear
why they are.
Esther or Gone Home, those kind of things.
Or the
You know,
forest.
I have no idea what you're talking
Not
about.
the forest.
That's how out of the loop I am.
Or what the hell was it? Firewatch. Firewatch. It was.
Firewatch seems interesting, because you actually were talking to a character while you walked.
Well,
I thought The Forest was a survival horror game.
the forest. Yeah, I confused the forest with Firewatch. The forest is like Rust, basically, but with naked. What are they?
Cannibals?
Yeah, naked cannibals.
Oh, that's always a good time there. So, Ted, you just played Skyrim and that's it?
I think that was a yes.
Yeah, great. Dead silence. Thanks, Ted. Steve, what are you playing? Also nothing? No, my internet is just going out.
No. They're just not saying anything.
I can
Wait.
hear you guys.
Wait, who'd you ask what?
You.
I asked Steve,
Oh. What'd you ask me?
what games have you played in the past month?
So it seems like the only time I play games that isn't the WWE games is when with other people. So when I've been with other people, I've played Halo 3 recently, and I kicked everybody's butt because I'm the best at Halo 3.
Boo.
It's fun. I think
Halo's garbage.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're alone on the being a fan of Halo front, Steve.
I wasn't claiming that I wasn't alone on that.
Oh, Aaron showed up. I don't know if he's going to pop the call now.
Him and the 27,000 other people that love that game.
That's a lot of people. That's like the kind
That's
of
probably actually really underestimating the numbers.
Yes, that's far less than actually.
Yeah, I have tried repeatedly, but I just don't gel with the way the gunplay works in those games.
It's just not even like I'm not even that into FPS games, and Halo's not even my favorite FPS for multiplayer. I'll take Call of Duty multiplayer over Halo any day.
I'm pretty much midnight on that. I'm not a big first-person shooter guy, but I don't really much care for Halo myself either. So.
The thing with Halo is that you gotta be ultra precise because there's no way to win in that game other than with headshots, and I can't be precise with the control stick. I just
Is your brother going to give you a bath? Here, tell the podcast about your bath. Say bath. Yeah, bath. You're not being helpful. Go away now.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played an FPS in years, come to think of it.
I'm
Overwatch. I played
I'm
Overwatch.
completely backwards. The only thing I played of my son got the new Call of Duty for Christmas, and the only thing I played was the campaign mode. I haven't even touched multiplayer.
Yeah, the same. My
Multiplayer
friend.
is trash in a lot of FPSs, at least for me.
My friend.
Well, I think in Call of Duty the multiplayer is definitely the draw for most players.
Yeah, it is for most players, but that doesn't change the fact that it's trash.
Well, it's one of those things where, some people get really good at it and are really competitive, and if you're not one of those people, it's probably not as much fun.
Yeah,
That's just
I
online gaming in
played
general.
a little bit with Black Ops, and all I remember is walk in the room, get shot, walk in the room, get shot.
But hey, you can yell in a high-pitched voice at people and, racist slurs and hey,
Hello.
it's Aaron.
my brother from
Good
another
to have
mother.
another person on the podcast that won't contribute.
Aaron will contribute. He better. Or I'll kick him out of the
Contribute
match.
construction noises. Will contribute
said
to
I
his
won't
kitchen
contribute?
devices exploding.
Aaron, speak up.
I think Aaron's talking to someone that isn't us right now.
Who said I won't contribute?
That would be me. Take a wild guess.
That'd be your
It's my neck,
nemesis.
Alex. I always contribute.
Look,
You always contribute the sounds of a drug deal.
That's racist.
that's your assessment of New York City. There's just a sound, any given place in New York City, there's just the sound of a drug deal in the background.
When I was a little kid, I was scared shitless of New York. New York was like one of my biggest fears as a little kid. My
That
parents always said,
explains
let's go
everything.
visit New York City. And I'd be like, no, we'd get shanked immediately.
That explains literally everything.
Speaking of getting shanked immediately, Aaron, we're talking about video games that we've been playing recently. You been playing anything?
I just completed episode 1 of the Batman Telltale game thing.
Oh, amazing game. What'd you think?
I think it's pretty great so far. Haven't played episode 2 yet.
On one hand, this is great because we get to talk about it since you brought it up, but on the other hand, we don't get to talk about spoilers since you're this early into the game.
It's
I'd really
whatever.
like
I already know what happens some stuff far into the game. I've watched them play.
Right, but I still don't want to spoil it for the audience.
Or
Well,
me.
then, okay, I guess.
See, if you're old like me, Telltale games are great because there's no hand-eye coordination or twitch movement needed. You just sit back and
Now,
Batman had a lot of QTEs, Ted.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
actually
was just like, holy shit.
did. And do you know, unlike Wolf Among Us, I never had to go back and redo one because I missed a prompt.
Yeah, the
I
thing is,
miss-
Wolf Among Us, if you mess up one prompt in Wolf Among Us, it kills you instantly. But Batman actually gave you a health meter.
I only missed a
I didn't
prompt
even notice that.
once, and that was when I had to aim that little freaking thing, like the drone, to like snipe the dude or like set off some explosion in the guy's building. So the guy just shot me right in the neck, and there goes Batman. I was like, wow, shit.
Batman's armor actually ain't worth shit.
why
Well, it's hard to build effective neck armor, although when you can have the gadgets that Batman has, I guess there's no excuse.
That's a fact.
Speaking of Batman and gadgets, the other thing I've been playing is Arkham. I've been playing Arkham City, courtesy of our own Soon, who unfortunately is not here, and having a lot of fun with that. I know that's quite old, but he gave it to me on Steam when they were doing their sale.
That's the best Arkham game, without a doubt.
Kick with that.
I mean, admittedly, I've never played Origins, but my understanding, it's actually quite shit.
Don't say that in the presence of Brandon.
Well, Steve will just play any game he can afford.
He's literally the only person I've ever heard defend Arkham Origins.
Origins seemed kind of interesting to me because it had a multiplayer mode where you could play, where it was like a three-way fight between Batman and Robin versus Joker versus Bane, and that sounded interesting to me. But I never heard anything about it after the damn thing released.
Because nobody bought it.
The only thing I defend about Arkham Origins is that Roger Craig Smith was the voice of Batman, but that's about it.
Who was the voice of Batman?
Roger Craig Smith.
Ezio?
Yes,
I don't
Ezio.
Don't even know who that is. Oh, okay. So now's the part of the thing where we discuss why Ezio is in fact the worst Assassin's Creed character, not the best.
Ezio is...
Except
Ezio-
arguably blank template Arnaud, who barely... Arnaud responds to everything in French grunts.
Oh,
Yeah, I've only played 2 or 3 of those games, and I didn't mind Ezio that much, but Arno bothered me.
I don't mind Ezio, I just don't understand the adoration for him. He's such a cookie cutter, like, oh, I'm a playboy and all the women love me. Oh no, my family's been murdered. He's just so dry and boring. There's 3 games with him in it, and only in the last one does he display any kind of deviation from just being like medieval Han Solo. And I know that's not actually the medieval period, but it's I don't get it. I don't get.
I'd
That's
argue
what
that
people want out of protagonists nowadays. It's why people love Tony Stark or Deadpool. People want arrogant, hedonistic protagonists.
because it fits them. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can relate to that asshole. 'Cause I'm an asshole.
Look, I'm as big of an asshole as you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but you're an asshole who doesn't get women. For
Damn.
that's granted
I've
for
been married-
most of us.
Aaron, I could be your father. I've been married since before you were born.
I was like I said, that was for most of us, not for you, Ted.
Oh, okay. They're assholes that don't get women.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fantasy element of being Ezio is the getting women. Yeah, I just like, I mean, and I'm not saying the other heroes weren't dicks. My favorite one is what's the pirate guy?
Edward.
Yeah, Edward.
Yeah.
Edward Kenway. He's a bigger douchebag than Ezio could ever be. But I love him because he's actually complex. Like, he's conflicted about what's going on. And, like, he actually has the sense to go, wait a minute, your motto is everything is permitted, nothing is true. But, like, you run around living your life based on this very strict set of, like, we have to go save the people. Why? If everything's permitted, why the hell am I going off to save people? What do I care? Seems like your motto was bullshit. That's all I'm saying. And, like, it's right in the name of the game, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, playing through the original Assassin's Creed, it did seem kind of shitty how it was just, assassins, total good guys, Templars, total bad guys.
And
Everything
the
the
funny
Assassins does is right, everything the Templars does is wrong. And to
The
my
funny
understanding,
thing
the
is
later
that-
games fixed that, correct?
Well, more or less. But the funny thing is that people argue, well, people who like Altair and Connor, Connor is, arguably better than Altair. But whatever.
Didn't play that game, so I don't know. But go ahead.
So yeah, people argue that only Ezio's game were black and white when it comes to Ezio's game, Syndicate, and Unity were the only black and white games, and that no, actually, everything outside of 1 and 3, now that I think about it, was black and white, and only 1 and 3 were the ones that were unique, and they really made the fact that Templars are not the definite bad guys a thing. But
Oh no, four definitely went into that. Like the whole concept that when the Templars showed up in the Caribbean, and they brought culture, and they brought law and order with them. It was like a trade-off. Yeah, people lost freedom, objectively or subjectively. Freedom is in the freedom to steal and murder people. But people weren't being robbed and murdered all the time. That was a strong theme, actually, which is, I think, kind of why the primary villain in 4 wasn't a Templar. He was he was a seer or oracle.
he was a governor.
No,
Oh, no,
I'm talking about
actually-
the other guy.
Oh, right, I know. He was a sage.
Yeah, Sage, thank you.
Did 4 and 5? I never finished Unity or any of that, but did they follow 3's whole idea of cutting out the whole thing where in 1 and 2, the Templars and Assassins both were definitely following certain sides. There weren't like mixed in Templars and Assassins in the different sides. But then in 3, it's like some of the Americans are Templars, some of the Americans are Assassins, some of the Brits are Templars, some of the Brits are Assassins.
Yeah, they
They
continued mixing it. For more or less.
Yeah,
Well,
I think at least in Unity it's very cut and dry. Pretty much everybody on the side of the Revolution is with the Templars, and everybody on the side of the Imperials, the Imperial French, are the Assassins.
well,
but even
not really because Balak and what's his face, the Grandmaster of the Assassins. They were with. Well, Balak was against the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster was with the Royalists.
Okay, so that's actually kind of peculiar because usually the rebels are the heroes and the big establishment are the
Well, if you actually have any understanding of history, the French Revolution was not actually about giving power to the people. It was about transferring power from one group of wealthy elite people to another group of wealthy elite people. When
so any revolution other than the American one.
even the American Revolution, you could make the argument. But like when people talk about Napoleon and then he built this empire and everything, right? But the reality was Napoleon was part of the French Revolution. He saw power change hands from one group of people that were willing to let the citizens starve and do all kinds of things to another group that did the exact same thing. And that's when Napoleon said, "Wait a minute, this isn't working. We need to do something else." So it's kind of say what you want about Napoleon, but at least he was actually concerned about the citizens of his country and them being able to eat and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, Napoleon might have done some unsavory things, but at the end of the day, when it came to his people, this dude was the man.
Remarkably enough, he might have actually been a human being.
You can't you cannot build an empire without doing awful things. It's never been done in history.
Exactly.
That's enough about history.
To take it back to games, that I think is one of the things that makes the Assassin's Creed series resonate with some people is the fact that it the concept of good and evil being done on both sides, and it coming down to motive more often than just raw outcome. People like to believe that it matters if you have good intentions, no matter how it turns out.
Which is kind of bullshit if you think about it.
I agree. I'd agree. Not to get too deep into
Morality.
Yeah, but I would agree with you that largely what should matter is what actually happens, not how it was intended. But the point is that stuff works really well in fiction.
Well, so that's enough about Batman, I guess. Gramps, what have you been playing for the past month?
Well, most nights I actually just come in and listen to a lot of music, but when I do actually play video games, I've been playing some Pokemon Moon, been playing some Guitar Hero Live, and that's probably about it aside from NBA 2K.
How many Pokemon are there at this point? I
Too
don't mean
many.
just games. I mean actual Pokemon.
Too many.
There really
Like,
are
isn't
too
one of the
many.
latest Pokemon just like a chandelier?
That was in X. Chandelier. Or whatever
Oh,
its
that was
name
in
is.
one of the older ones. So they're adding more onto that. They didn't give up with
Oh.
the chandelier. They're keeping going.
Oh, why?
Oh, jeez. Okay,
I mean,
so
they're-
yeah, the Pokemon franchise is dead, but I don't think that anyone cares here. Does anyone care about Guitar Hero? Ted, you're into Guitar Hero, aren't you?
I used to, but then I don't know. It's just like once it dropped out, I think, and then they tried to do a live thing with Guitar Hero, which I think is personally weird. But if Rock Band keeps up what they're doing, you know, kind of sticking to like nothing too drastic, then yeah, sure, I'll support it.
Thanks, Ted.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
Ted.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, Addy, what have you been playing for the past month?
Well, I played through the campaign of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I thought it was alright. I mean, it was better than I expected from Call of Duty or
Oh,
whatever.
daddy.
So that.
All
Thank
right,
you,
so
thank
that's,
you.
That's our new name for that series called Dottie.
So,
new
yes.
Call of Dottie has anyone happened to play the new Call of Dottie?
Dottie
you-
sounds like a nice
no,
lady.
You have to call it Call of Duty then.
Oh nah, Addy,
It's
stop.
just, it's just freaking a polka dotted version. But anyways, so that I played through 3 hours of Watch Dogs through the trial version that they had.
Who is fake vomiting over Watch Dogs?
Steve.
Steve.
That was a strong reaction. What did you think of the game, Adi? Before I make fun of you for your opinion, tell me what your opinion is.
I
I
found
played
it.
it too.
I found it better than the original. I mean, I liked it, but I actually kind of liked it better than GTA 5. But that's because hacking. Really, if GTA 5 had hacking, like that level of hacking, then I probably like it better because interactive city and all that.
I'd certainly struggle to call it better than GTA 5, especially considering that. Really,
Yeah,
I don't,
I'm not-
I don't know
I'm
if
not-
you followed the plot line. You might have followed the plot line missions, but after I finished the tutorial, I just went off and messed around. And there's
I-
not anything you can do with hacking if you just go off and mess around in the city. They don't let you do anything.
Yes, they
Except
do.
rob
If you
everyone.
well, if you
Yeah.
if you do some of the story missions or the side missions, you get experience points, and you can use that to get more hacking ability, so you can hack the city in free roam too.
Oh well, I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have done that. Instead, I just went around and went with my little hacking thing, and I could go and see a person on the street and says, "He
Yeah.
is the best. He runs the orphanage. He pets puppies. Do you want to siphon all the money from his bank account?"
Yes.
There is only one game that I played less than Watch Dogs, and that is Duke Nukem Forever. I didn't even play games that I rented, by the way.
Steve, we're not talking about the original one. We're talking about two.
I know.
No, he's going. I think he's going over what he's played over the past month, right?
Well, no, I was just gonna make a statement about Watch Dogs. Is that I played a solid
Wait,
20
Watch Dogs is your most played game.
No, the second least played game that I have rented.
Ah,
So
Did I say
yeah,
most?
yeah, you
No.
said most.
did he?
Yeah, you did.
All right then. So yeah, I played through that. I can't speak. So I'm playing the Forerunner beta because they let me in. They probably
Right.
chose wrong.
I do not know what that is.
Forerunner is Ubisoft's. Well, I don't know, like it's like a crowd fighter, but more like a MOBA, I suppose. Well, in this stage, anyways, it's more like a MOBA. But it's a crowd fighter, basically. Like you know, like Dynasty Warriors or Sengoku Basara.
What the hell was that?
Me speaking Japanese.
Yeah, I guess Addy's just really good at picking up foreign languages, based off the fact he's picking up English pretty damn well. But yeah, that sounds like a peculiar combination. In my experience with playing MOBAs, like it's very important to the little guys, the minions, what you do with them.
They're not really that. They're not really that. You know, needed for in this game. Like you have them, but you only get like 1 point for killing them, and you also kill them in one blow. And to
Well,
go
yeah,
over,
but if you still kill tons of them, you still probably are making tons of money, right?
not money. You actually don't upgrade your character between deaths. It's weird like
Which
that.
which MOBA is this?
For Honor. It's
Oh.
it's Ubisoft's triple A MOBA. Or at
Yeah,
least
yeah. Samurai versus Vikings versus Knights.
yes.
The gameplay looked ridiculously complex, and therefore I decided not to.
I
I
tried it. If you want me to send you a code for it, I can. I think.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I tried it. It's actually it's really complex, but not really complex at all. Like when
Yeah.
when you first try it, it will be really complex. But like I only played what 4 hours of it, and now I can play on normal difficulty against the bots.
Yeah, MOBAs, I try to get into MOBAs constantly. I've tried to get into most MOBAs. I've never been able to get into a single one, and I always have to deal with you guys, especially soon, complaining about MOBAs and calling them the worst thing ever. And one day on a whim, I got on PS4, started playing the Smite PS4. Okay, that kid won't scream in my ear. The PS4 version of Smite. Got it started. Got tired of the fact that I couldn't play with someone else. So I begged Soon into it. And for some reason, Soon fell in love with Smite.
Well, the thing that sets For Honor apart from other MOBAs is its fighting mechanic, which is really fleshed out, really complex, but not really complex at all. Like as I said, it didn't really take me that much to learn it, but I don't know everything about it. Like I know that there are some charge moves, there are actual bloody combos in it, which is weird for a MOBA, let alone an actual fighting mechanic, aside from clicking like one button again and again.
Oh, well, the
But
thing with
like-
most beat 'em ups, my understanding, is just finding one combo that works and spamming it ad infinitum.
Not in this one. Not every time, anyways. Like, I use Kansei. It's the basic samurai class. I normally use up and heavy attack, and spamming that seems to work on easy difficulty, but on normal and hard, and yes, I have tried on hard because I hate myself or whatever, and it didn't work. So I needed to learn how to get around people and use it then. How to make people fall off the ledges, how to make people make themselves kill themselves. Or make them
You
kill
don't need to be
themselves
so
rather.
precise, Addy.
I wish I had that power.
Alright, make people fall off ledges?
No, to make
Uh-huh.
people
Make
kill
people kill
themselves.
themselves.
I don't think he cares how. No, I can't speak. I haven't tried the game yet or anything, but my understanding is that, at least on higher difficulties, the AI gets wise if you keep using the same tactic over.
Yes, they do. They do.
Because I watched a long thing with the developer where he was showing running around with the different Viking characters.
Oh, this is that game you're talking about where you could use all the different warriors.
It's
Just-
For Honor. Oh my god,
yeah,
I'm
for
an idiot.
honor.
I am an
Huh?
idiot. I've been listening this entire time thinking Addy was talking about a game called Foreigner.
What?
Oh!
Feels like the first time. You're really, really dumb.
Well, I mean,
I want
I
For
I
Honor.
suppose
I've
it
been
would
sitting here
fit.
listening like, Foreigner? What the hell is Foreigner? I've never heard of this game.
An awesome man.
Yeah, foreigners a band, dude.
Wait. Everybody stop. Ted, you told me before that you said that Foreigner sucks.
Steve, why do you sound like your balls haven't dropped, dude?
Hey,
You're hardly one to talk, Aaron.
I'll drop your balls,
Brandon,
buddy.
Foreigner only sucks when you're trying to say you like them.
It's not fair.
But yeah,
Aaron,
go ahead.
I'll drop your balls in a second, buddy.
Don't. You just said that.
Yeah, that's right.
Well then,
I can't believe I just sat
Brandon, I
there
don't
like,
think we want
well,
to
this foreigner game sounds amazing. I need to check it out.
but yeah. So to sum it up, I really freaking like Foreigner. Foreigner.
For honor.
Yes,
It looked
Foreigner.
good in the E3 stuff, but everything looks good in the E3 stuff.
Right. So can we talk about how the crew, all the human crew on the new Mass Effect game, look like hipster douchebags?
I have been staying the hell away from all Mass Effect news. I want it to be a total surprise when I buy it.
All you gotta do is look at the one still where there's 3 humans standing there. There's like a dude with a retro afro, a guy who's like one trilby in ironic pair of glasses away from being the stereotype of a hipster douchebag, and a girl with a blonde like flop over hairstyle that's shaved on the sides. I'm like, what happened to Mass Effect World?
Oh, that's so
Did you not play Mass Effect 3, Ted? Because they
Yeah, I did.
Mass Effect 3, you remember it redesigned all the characters, and a lot of people said that they tried to make it look like Jersey Shore.
I mean, I don't.
Like Caden had a damn faux hawk or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I do remember that, the one guy with the faux hawk and all that. So I guess
for faux hawks.
it's not setting a precedent. It's they're just going with what Mass Effect does. The future looks a lot like now, and that's very unfortunate.
It's probably because of EA's whole thing. EA always tries to keep up with groups like that. EA always tries to be up with the cool kids and all that. And
I mean, is Liam the white dude? Because if it is, I don't mind his freaking whatchamacallit, that slick back thing he has going on, but for the rest of them, especially this I shaved my hair and now I have like a kind of half bob looking girl. Just makes me sad. Just makes me really, really sad.
I don't know who's who. I just saw the little still, and there's like 3 humans standing there, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have all alien companions because I can't look at those people.
What do you think about the one alien
the
girl
human
they do
companions
show?
are always the boring ones in Mass Effect, Ted, so I would have been doing it anyways. Like, why would I go with boring white guy number A and boring white girl number 3 when I can get Garrus and Tolly and Thane? Like, who are these boring ass people? Who gives a shit?
That's the way I feel about companions in general in most games. So, yet another reason why Dragon Age is the greatest console RPG of all time. If you ignore Knights of the Old Republic,
I
That's how
wouldn't
I
say
feel
it's the
towards
greatest
people in
console
general.
RPG of all time, but I would say that Dragon Age is one of the few RPGs that bothers to actually make interesting human characters.
I'm always going to be salty about Knights of the Old Republic. I let my little cousin borrow it about 10 years ago. Still haven't gotten it back.
Yeah, that's what constantly happens in Indiana.
He actually lives in Ohio, dick face.
that is what stabbing is for.
Are you sure it's not Xavier?
Who?
Even
Xavier.
if Xavier have known each other this entire time without knowing that they know each other, I would be amazed.
Are you sure it's not X-Men?
All
just say
I
that?
know is that Brandon, Alex, and X make a perfect trifecta of examples of what I call victims of the public school system. Don't go to school in Indiana, kids.
Wait, so
Well,
I'm not
would be mildly curious, but at the same time, I really couldn't care less.
the big failure, even though I go to public school in New York.
You're too young to fail yet. You'll fail in a few years.
I feel
Wait,
like
but isn't
Ted,
X-
Xavier's older than Aaron.
X is younger than me.
I feel like
Oh.
Ted hasn't seen like real homeschool kids. I've seen real homeschool kids, and public
Watch
school
it.
does
Watch it.
Alex, you don't count because you're not real.
Are you gonna wait?
That is-
Are you seriously gonna try to negatively compare homeschool kids to public school kids? I wish I had homeschooled my kids. The public schools have done such a train wreck on my kids.
Maybe it's not the schools. Maybe it's you.
Maybe it's
Wait.
you.
Ooh.
I would say that might be the problem, but I also have the example of you and Alex.
He's just going out of his way to step on toes today.
Yeah, Alex is a
Me?
sack of shit, but I have a question. I have a
I mean, that's
question
not really a
without,
question, is it?
without being political with it. Why do public schools suck so much in the eyes of Ted?
Are we supposed to be talking about video games?
They
Yes,
don't
we
suck-
are.
They don't suck in the eyes of Ted. They suck. Period.
Why do we?
It's not a subjective thing. It's just an
That's
objective.
easy for you to say because you went to your pretty little private college or school or whatever. I don't know.
What? Why do they suck? Whatchamacallit?
That's a whole.
in
Aaron,
general.
if you got,
That's a
got
whole
political
big-
questions, can
That's
for
a whole
Ted,
big
you say
long
before.
thing. That's a whole big long thing that we can discuss when we're not doing the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, this
What?
is a hell of a... What? Aaron, I know you
I
have
would
your
suggest,
you
I
love
would
to ask
suggest
Ted.
this. Just go compare American test scores versus test scores from any other country, including probably whatever third world country Adi's from.
Second word, thank you very much.
Second world. That's probably worse.
True, 'cause you guys are behind the Iron Curtain, so you are actually second world. Adi knows his stuff. I give him credit.
Yep,
So
Aaron
video
is aware
games.
of Cold War,
So video
Cold
games.
Warrior.
Yes, so video games. I also played
What
Def
video
Jam Fight for New York, or at least
When is
tried.
the 1004th game about the Cold War coming out? That's what I would like to know.
Next year.
No,
I love the Cold War. Shut up.
gotta have more games than the Cold War.
What?
Black Ops.
Black Ops 5 will come out. Sometime.
Black Ops
Maybe.
3 killed the series.
What did Ted say about the Cold War?
I said there's probably more World War II based games than Cold War based games.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
for the Cold War, there's really just whatever James Bond licensed material, Metal Gear, the old Metal Gears, the Metal Gear prequels, and a few CODs. Just one COD.
I would even throw the entire Metal Gear series as Cold War games, even though they're not all set in the Cold War, because they're all the theme of them is very much the Cold War.
All crazy ass espionage and experiments and shit. Yeah.
It's always done with that backdrop. That's one thing about 5. I am glad, even though I didn't even end up finishing it, that I did get 5, because first of all, it was just fun to play until I got bored. But second of all, it was a nice way to dip my toe into the lore a little bit.
Yeah, get a little bit of the insanity, but not so much that it ruins your life, like me.
Right.
I mean, I think the beginning of 5 was more than a dip.
That was weird, because you can tell that's the part they let Hideo Kojima come in and do his thing, but for the rest of the game they shut him down. The intro was just, it feels like Hideo did just try and shove as much in as possible, because that was like Metal Gear Solid 2 levels of craziness that you don't see in most areas of the series.
I feel like
Are you talking about the intro where all you did was crawl through a freaking hospital? Because that was like the biggest turnoff. No, sorry, second biggest turnoff besides the dumb intro to Skyrim.
remember after you get out of the hospital.
Alright, everyone ignore my sister just charging in. Let me mute my mic here for a second.
Insert Mike asking if Alex's sister is hot and or of age.
Because like in the beginning of 5, after
You
you get
guys
out,
suck. I mute my mic for a little bit, and then that's when you decide to talk about me.
No, it was about your sister actually,
Well, I heard that in passing while I was busy.
and really only by proxy by making fun of Mike. So
Knowing Mike, he probably wouldn't care.
I'm sure he wouldn't. I actually am very much. I would never mess with a friend's sister ever.
Yeah, but that wouldn't stop Mike.
I once dated my best friend's sister. I'll never forget it.
Now piss off, dog.
Third grade doesn't count, Steve.
Dude, it was. Yeah, no,
Third-
wait. 5th
Third
grade.
grade? Seriously? Oh, fifth grade. It
grade.
makes such a difference.
It
I
does.
think anything before like 8th grade or high school shouldn't count at all.
Why does everybody say that?
Take a wild guess, Steve.
Now you just made it so Steve never had a girlfriend.
Because your balls have to drop before you can think about things like that.
Maybe it's
Apparently,
her-
Steve's haven't yet, by Aaron's opinion. So things
Yeah.
aren't counting for Steve.
You
I
know,
don't know, Aaron and Brandon are just natural rivals because both of them have once upon a time had a cot in the bat cave and then subsequently been kicked out.
Yeah, it's the old shit. Where are they? It's like Jason Todd versus Damien, I guess.
Oh, right. Incidentally, that's why Aaron hates Alex, because Alex is the Joker, and it's just a natural.
no, I think Alex has a really huge crush on me that I think is quite adorable, but sometimes it gets annoying.
Did you completely miss what I said last week? If I was into dude, I'd have better taste.
Action speaks louder than words, my guy.
Oh my god.
Speaking of
We're on
CB,
the internet. All we've got is words.
speaking of CBG, I was just on his Facebook, so I can match his face with that charming Southern drawl.
He's kind of scary looking, isn't he, though? Like, that picture's, like, real intense.
You think
I
so?
woke up this morning, and some dude from Kentucky sent me a friend request. And I was like, "Who's this?"
No, me, I probably would have just deleted it instantly, like spam. Get it.
I was actually just about to, and I switched over to the Form of Solitude thing, and there was a post saying he had added me as a friend. I was like, oh, maybe I should see if that's him before I delete it.
Well,
I
might
went on the
not, because
forum.
I think I actually did see Gramps' name once on Skype, his real name, but whatever.
I went on the forum after that exchange, so I already had the information.
Hold up a second.
Alright, so while he is not here, should we talk about how much Homestuck sucks?
Is
I'm gonna be
homeschooling a
busy
thing
for a
over
second.
there?
See you guys later. I don't know what conversation I'm interrupting, but I don't give a shit. See you guys in a second.
Okay. Is homeschooling a thing in Hungary? Does that exist?
Yes, I actually am still homeschooled.
Oh, see. So they
But
were
it's-
inadvertently calling you a retard too. Way to go, Brandon.
But the thing
I
is,
call someone a retard.
homeschooling over here is different from over there. Because I actually still need to go into school. It's just that, if I'm sick, they don't write me up, or if I don't feel like going to school, I don't necessarily have to, I just need to be there most of the time.
Huh. Yeah, that's very different than here.
I find that homeschooled kids lack a social awareness.
What? Does anyone want to take this? Does anyone want to take Brandon complaining about other people not having social awareness?
Look in a mirror, is all I'm going to say.
Brandon, you're from Indiana, my guy. Come on, stop. Dude, seriously, shit.
Dude, I will fight for my right.
To party?
Party!
To have a backwards party, yeah.
Bonfire out in the sticks. But back down to homegrown hicks.
Okay.
My best friend was homeschooled for the majority of his education. He's probably more socially active than I am, and more comfortable talking to people than I am. So
Okay, so maybe the homeschool kids I know are just really stupid.
They are autistic,
Well-
probably.
I went to real live people school, and I know plenty of people that are socially inept. I won't name names, but one of the guys in my regular tabletop group on Thursday nights is pretty. He like when you talk about D&D players, that image that most people get in their head. There's just one in my group,
You?
but he's there.
Speaking of those, you should really start recording those if you can, Ted. I'd love to.
We
watch
play
it.
at a game store. There's so much background noise and stuff. It'd be impossible. If I ever get anything going on Roll20, I'm gonna record my sessions.
But if you do anything on Roll20, more than likely, I would be a part of one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, any other games coming out this year we want to talk about, or are we gonna move on?
Well, Tekken 7, and how it's been pushed back to May, I believe.
When was it supposed to come out?
Well, around March or February.
So a few months.
Yeah.
That's
It was supposed to come out in December last year. Then it was pushed back to for the first quarter of 2017, and now it's been pushed back to May. Or no,
Yeah,
actually
so-
June 2nd. It comes out in June 2nd.
Wow. That's rough. I feel your pain. South Park was supposed to come out before Christmas and got pushed back too. Not as far back though.
And the worst thing is, because I could handle it being pushed back, but on the day they announced that it was pushed back, they also announced that not only is there a pre-order bonus that is basically just one of X-Men's original characters, Eliza. You should look her up. But yeah, not only that, actually just a bit of a fun fact about her. Her breasts shrink
Oh.
and grow in size while fighting.
What?
Isn't that a fetish?
Yeah, probably, I don't know.
Feminist Frequency is gonna have a field day.
But yes, so she's the pre-order exclusive stuff for Tekken 7, and so not only that, but there are PS4 exclusive modes and costumes for Tekken 7, and there's also the fact that it now has a season pass.
Of course it does. That's the way we milk more money out of everything.
Because the fact that it's been in the arcades for like 3 years now, 2 or 3 years. It didn't bring it in.
Wait, arcades are still a thing in Hungary? There's no arcades.
No,
in
no, not Hungary. In Japan and Korea.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't bloody complain if arcades were a thing in Hungary, because then I could actually play it. But there's no demo, there's no anything. The only thing I can do is watch Korean people play, and who bloody cares?
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks when you're like anxious for a game and it gets pushed back. When the original Xbox released, Raw, the wrestling game, was supposed to come out release day, and it got pushed back like months. So I had an Xbox, a day one Xbox that was basically a paperweight until I got the wrestling game months and months later. It sucked. And then the wrestling game was terrible on top of that. So
That's the one that was ported to the PC, right?
yes.
Then I feel your pain.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah, I think it's actually Raw. I think it's actually Raw 2, but it's the same engine, same terrible graphics. Everybody walks like they got a load of crap in their trunks.
Like Edge?
The old WWF Raw games.
Yep.
I think I honestly have no earthly clue what that thing is. I bought a game that claims to be WWF Raw for the Xbox just because it was $1 at like a used bookstore. I popped it in my Xbox and it was the strangest WWE game I've ever played, like in just utter levels of shit.
Sounds like Raw for Xbox.
Like the menu was like some kind of license plate system or something. I thought there was supposed to be a career mode of some kind, but there wasn't. There was just play match.
Yes,
Superstar.
That's Raw. That's
Raw 2 had career mode, but not the first one.
That's
And,
it. I thought I just got my hands on some prototype by accident. I was like, sick.
But Alex, it has your favorite wrestler. You could play as Chris Benoit.
Oh, fuck you.
I mean, my wife takes infidelity seriously, but I am flattered.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, now you want to have sex with Chris Benoit?
Someone's been triggered.
So yeah, there's Tekken 7 coming out. Then we have Yakuza 0. I don't know anything about
As
it.
soon as seriously, as soon as I stepped away, Addy tried to turn the discussion back to Tekken.
We let him. We talked about
Addy,
it.
man, I know you love Tekken. I love Tekken too, but you can't just be like Tekken every
I
single
know.
minute.
No, he was very
discussed
like he had things to say about it and stuff that were relevant. That Yakuza game, I watched several reviews of it. It doesn't look like something I would ever play, but it looks absolutely insane.
The Yakuza games aren't those the ones where like you get into big street fights and you can like beat the shit out of people with bicycles and crap?
Yeah, sounds like the right thing.
That sounds like my kind of game. I need to go back and play those things.
But it's like completely insane what there's like a karaoke mini game, and which of course Sleeping Dogs had a karaoke mini game. But
It also
I always hear good things about the series. I'll have to look into it someday.
but I hear good things about Dragon Ball Z too.
doesn't the new one also feature like New Japan Pro Wrestlers?
Maybe not to my knowledge, but maybe.
Well, I saw screenshots and videos of New Japan wrestlers doing their finishers in the game, so you know.
Oh, I wouldn't
just
be
have a
surprised.
custom
It definitely has like some pro wrestling moves and stuff. So
So hold up, can you get into a bar fight with Kenta?
Probably, maybe.
That's sweet. No, get into a bar fight with Great Muda. That would be amazing.
He would just
pick
look at you and yeah.
you just
you'd
pick
fall
green
over.
stuff in your face and then Shining Wizard you, and that'd be it. He'd be like, "Screw you, I'm old now. I don't do all the crazy moves anymore."
Oh, well, that describes most wrestlers nowadays. They're all either old farts or guys that are absurdly young and do nothing but flips.
Hey, I think that we are kind of segueing into our next topic.
Wrestling, hey, I never got to talk about what games I've been playing, you jackasses.
Who cares?
You don't get to. You're the host.
It sounds like a you problem.
So other than Resident Evil 4.
No, I actually haven't been playing Resident
Oh,
Evil
no,
4.
sorry, that
I've
was
been
Gramps.
playing one less good.
That was Gramps that got 4.
I haven't played it yet though.
Oh, you need to play that, man. That game's
Well,
amazing.
I just got it today, so I'll definitely try it out tonight sometime.
Which one is 4?
4 is the one that everybody loves and has the chainsaw guy and you're running around in Spain.
That's not helpful. Who's the characters?
Leon Kennedy is the main
Leon, and it's got the chick that follows you around and goes, Leon!
Oh,
Everyone
well,
hates
that
the
sounds-
escort missions.
Oh well, that sounds.
Doesn't she always get kidnapped by like really?
Supposedly. The thing is,
good
everybody
people.
makes a big deal about it because everyone's a dumbass, but the escort missions aren't actually that bad. Because she does have an annoying voice by all means, and she is incapable of defending herself. At the same time, she's like glued to your ass. You don't have to worry about her going off and messing around like you do every other escort mission ever. As long as you have an awareness of your surroundings, then it's perfectly easy to do.
Which one takes place in Africa?
That would be Resident Evil 5. That is the game that at first everyone thought it was racist, then Capcom made some changes that made it look like it wasn't racist, and then the game released and it actually was racist. For some reason Capcom hates black people. I don't know why. They just do.
Well, yeah. You know,
Aaron, do you feel
What?
hated by Capcom?
Wait, what games?
Let's see,
Street
Resident Evil
Fighter.
5, Dead Rising 2, most of the Street Fighters.
how was Dead Rising 2 racist?
Have you seen any of the black characters from Dead Rising 2?
I've
I mean,
played the
literally,
game
the first survivors that you get is like big, black, sassy black lady and cowardly, skinny black dude.
Okay, but can we talk for a second about the fact that we have all these, like, everyone's like, oh, it's so racist. Have you ever looked at the stuff that's in Japanese games? Have you ever seen a black person in a
Japanese
Japanese
games are really racist.
Have
yeah,
you ever seen
yeah,
a
Japan
black
is
guy?
really racist.
Or maybe we're just overly
That's what I'm
sensitive.
talking about.
pussies.
Japan is racist.
Or maybe we're just overly sensitive pussies. It's definitely one of the
Exactly.
two.
I agree with WildKnight. We just overreact to these things.
If you think about it, you can't really blame them because they have little exposure. So they have to interpret everything that they see in America through like their own eyes. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
completely-
I was gonna say actually the really sad thing, if you want to go back and ruin a funny topic by being serious, the really sad thing is what you see in Japanese stuff isn't how Japanese people actually feel about black people. That's them interpreting what they think Americans think of black people. It's through a lens, and that lens is us. So now I want to kill myself.
It's the same thing
Japan
with
is
South
crazy
Korea
about
also.
America. It's crazy playing through the Resident Evil games because all the games are set in American City. Well, all the early games were set in an American city. And it's funny, Japan's view of America, because you can just open up any locker, any door, anywhere. It's like just in the middle of a bar. Or, well, in the middle of like a random house. You're like, okay, so there's an assault rifle in this high school locker. What?
They're not wrong.
Like apparently you go to a high school and you see all the kids are walking around with guns. Like, hey, how's it going?
Only in Plano, Texas. Lowest crime rate in the country, by the way. Plano, Texas.
I
Oh,
want to move to
Jesus.
Texas.
There's
we're getting political fast.
more than 2 guns per person in Texas, in Plano, Texas, and like virtually no violent crime.
Okay, so that got political fast.
Because
Apparently, I should not bring up Resident Evil. Apparently,
Hey, look, the zombie genre has always been political.
Yep.
I
Really?
suppose it has.
Oh God, George Romero, like every single one of those movies is a political statement. There's actually a scene in the first one where they come across, they're hanging a bunch of zombies in trees, and they're like using trucks they're like putting them on the thing in trucks and driving away so they'll hang. It's like such an obvious political commentary.
The second one, the Dead by Dawn, I haven't actually seen it myself, but I've seen a clip where it's set in a mall, and the zombies are just walking around the mall. And there's a straight up section where the protagonist is just standing, watching the zombies walk around the mall, monologuing about how, oh, they walk aimlessly, just letting their life go by, just looking for something to eat. Like, every single George Romero film has some kind of meaning where it's trying to insult some aspect of American culture by comparing
the first one's about racism. The second one's about consumerism.
And no one gives a shit past that point.
The point is, though, the modern zombie genre has always been an attempt at political commentary.
I'm not Detective One in Walking Dead, but at the same time, I tend to be pretty terrible about detectives.
Well, Walking Dead is more a general anthropological commentary, because the theme of The Walking Dead is, who are the Walking Dead? Are the zombies the Walking Dead, or are the people the Walking Dead? And were people prone to do these horrible things to each other before the zombie apocalypse, or as a result of the zombie apocalypse? And also, were people eating people before they became zombies, in a figurative sense? That's what Walking Dead's all about.
Yeah, it kind of ran with that with like the governor. I could see that, but around the time of Negan, I feel like it's kind of losing it, and it's just kind of like, okay, everybody kill each other.
Well, it's the Negan storyline is what we call misery porn.
Yeah, that seems like all it is okay, so we brought in this new character, they have all these traits, you're going to love them. That way, in 2 or 3 episodes, they die. Like, when the arc starts off with killing probably, like, the second or third most popular character in the series just for shock, then you can tell it's going to be that kind of arc.
Did you play the new Telltale Walking Dead game? Because
No,
I
not
have
the new
not played
season.
season 3 yet. The thing is that Batman has been the only time that I have played through a Telltale game episode by episode, and it didn't work out. So I'm just going back to the old program of waiting until the entire season is finished and then running through in one run.
When you will play the first episode, you might want to check back on this and see.
Oh, shut up! Don't spoil things.
I've
already had one little thing spoiled for me. Admittedly, it's not too big of a spoiler, but I've had it spoiled for me. One character that shows up.
Okay, all I'm going to say is that a lovable character and the deaths.
They better not have brought Lee back from the dead magically. That'll piss me off.
Walking Dead's getting cheap with its acting. Cheap with its writing lately, but I don't think they would go so far as to resurrect somebody.
I was talking about the game, but
yeah, I was talking about the series as a whole, the game, the TV show, the comic, all that. But yeah, I don't think that they'd bring back someone who died, at least not in zombie form. Especially considering that Lee probably wound up with a bullet in his head, and no one's come back from that yet. Well, he probably wound up with a bullet in his head. It depends on your choice. Either that or Clementine has terrible aim.
What's our next topic, guys?
Oh, by the way, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played through Season 1 of Walking Dead. In case you live under a rock.
Who cares, honestly?
I try to avoid spoiling things. I try, but I'm not good at it. Anyhow,
I don't really care because it doesn't ruin the fun for me.
Right,
yeah,
but it ruins fun.
I'm kind of like Adi. Spoilers don't ruin it for me, and I think we have a problem with our spoiler culture now. Like there needs to be a hard limit, like 48 hours for like a TV show. I'm sorry. After that point, if you haven't watched it, it should be your problem, not everyone else's problem. I see people on Facebook who are watching a series that's 7 or 10 years old, and someone will say, "Oh, it's so sad when so and so died." Spoilers, moron. The series is older than your child. Just freaking.
Well, TV shows it's a bit different, but with video games, like TV shows, you just tune in. Video games, you gotta save up $60, or I don't know, whatever.
Sure,
We're not
but
getting into discussion about spoilers.
Sure, but after a certain point, we should be able to discuss the games
freely.
This is another problem, and like I guess I'm going to get heavy again, but like very seriously, this spoiler-free culture is ruining our ability to discuss things. Like, imagine someone was sitting around in our discussion of the zombie stuff earlier, going spoilers every 5 seconds. Like, how could we have had that discussion if someone was uptight?
I'm not sure that anyone's so crazy as to complain about spoiling a 50, 60-year-old movie.
That's not the point. The point is, so I make something that's cool and relevant and has something to say, and I put it out there. Except the next day, no one can talk about it at the water cooler because Betty was taking her kid to karate and put it on the DVR and won't get to watch it till Thursday. And so there's no cultural conversation. And so what's the point of doing anything that means anything?
If I might add to that,
by the way, Addy, we got the title for the episode right here. Ted complains about life.
That might work. But to add to what Ted said, for me, it's not just that I don't care and because it doesn't ruin the fun for me, but there have been instances where I bought something or I played something, I watched something, yada yada, because I heard or saw spoilers and I liked what I saw or I liked what I heard.
Well, that is a bit different because you weren't interested in the product until you heard the spoiler, as opposed to being interested in the product and then hearing the spoiler. I mean, if you're not interested in the product, then by all means you could look up spoilers yourself. I mean, if I'm not very interested in the series, then I'll probably just look up the plot just to see how that goes, see if I'd be interested in actually checking the thing out myself. But if I was in waiting after playing the previous entries in the series, waiting for the sequel, and I wanted to go and run through it myself, go through the anticipation of the developments of the plot myself, then it would kind of bother me having aspects spoiled for me.
Me on the other side, when what was that game? I don't know. Whatever. I spoiled the. Oh, it was GTA 5 actually. So yeah, I watched through GTA 5 like 3 times before I actually got the game. So
Why
when
would you do that?
I was bored and I didn't really care for GTA because I don't like GTA.
You don't like GTA, so your natural reaction was to watch it 3 times.
I was bored. There was nothing else to watch. Seriously.
Well, I feel like if I didn't like the series, I could find better ways to entertain myself other than watching through the whole series 3 times. Like, I don't know, watching paint dry or perhaps headbutting the wall.
I didn't just watch raw footage. I watched three different people play through it, and
See,
so
That is why we respect Addy and we question you, Alex.
And so,
Because I'm not willing to watch something that I think sucks?
Because you'd rather watch paint dry or headbutt yourself against a wall, you piece of...
So, to go back to my point.
I don't honestly plan on headbutting a wall because I'm bored.
Because he did that earlier, and doing it twice would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, he might be considered a sped if he does that.
It stops being fun getting the brain damage hallucinations. It just kind of gets mundane.
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg, is that you?
I wish I made that much money, Ted. I wish I did.
So,
I wish I got paid to do nothing.
I think that's a segue into our next topic.
1 second.
He really wants us to start talking about wrestling.
Yes, he does. and he can in 1 second. So
Honestly, I at this point I kind of agree with him because I could not give a shit less about the spoiler discussion.
yeah, I spoiled
Unfortunately,
it for myself.
unfortunately, I gotta go, and it sounds like we were just gonna get into the topic I actually care about, the Royal Rumble.
Goodbye.
Best pay-per-view of the year, even though wrestling sucks balls right now.
So you're watching?
Yeah, of course I'm gonna watch. My outro will be this. The reason wrestling sucks is because of all the indie fans. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, so there goes the one person who's actually watching wrestling besides Steve. So, Steve, you are our sole source on what's going on in wrestling today.
Do not slander me. I am not watching wrestling right now. I'm watching the pay-per-views and NXT. Okay, now I'm leaving.
When I stepped away, you didn't stop, but hey, he sucks. He just sucks.
Yeah. So, I don't do pay-per-views because I can't stream them. I don't have a network, and they cost. Actually, I don't even think that they put them on pay-per-view anymore. But if they did, they're like $60. So I'm gonna not read any news about it, and then I'm gonna watch it at school on Monday. Yeah.
You must be one hell of a school.
Well,
Continue.
Yeah, my college has pretty darn good internet. That's how I do anything these days. Aaron?
I was gonna say that I intend to watch the pay-per-view tomorrow through, just know that I will be watching it, yeah. And, the thing is though, I can't say I've been paying attention to, everything on SmackDown. Well, I don't even think Steve has. He's mostly been paying attention to Raw. But I can't even say I've been paying attention to Raw either, because I've genuinely stopped watching.
SmackDown?
I watched SmackDown for the first time since August, just last week. But anyway, I can't say I've been keeping up, so I won't be able to give a good analysis of what I think is gonna happen, whatever. And it just seems like one cluttered mess right now, anyway.
I haven't watched in 4 years, so I don't know if anything about SmackDown has changed. But when I was last watching, it was the most non-existent show.
Stuff does happen sometimes. Like, Dean Ambrose won the Intercontinental title in the first week of January on SmackDown. But that's about it.
Well, that's a bad thing. So that would just deter interest.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that like him. Not me, but there's people. People I used to work with at Kroger were like, oh, I love Dean Ambrose.
He is the Titty Master for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm mildly tempted to go on a big rant about how I hate all three Shield guys, but I feel like I probably already went on such a rant in the previous Shut Your Mouth Lounge episode. So, who's the how many people are they having in the actual Royal Rumble this year?
30.
Is it back to 30?
Yeah, and
they did 40 for 2 years, and I was curious if they'd go back to that or just stick with 30.
They only had 40 in one Royal Rumble.
Okay, for those of you at home, Aaron just randomly left, and now he's back.
My bad, I accidentally meant to mute myself, but instead I hung up.
Oh, that's I'll mess up.
A weird thing is that, 23 of the participants have already been confirmed. That takes all the surprise away.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That takes away the entire appeal of the Royal Rumble.
Goldberg announced that he'd be in it way back in November. That could have been a great.
Well, I mean, there's always one or two people who say they're going to be in the Royal Rumble, or they're planning on winning the Royal Rumble, and that's usual. But going ahead and saying 23 out of the 30 is really dumb.
I think it's 21 to 23. I've counted, but I forgot. We know that Mojo Rawley's going to be in it. He could have been a huge surprise.
Who the hell is Mojo Rawley?
Mojo Rawley. Imagine Zack Ryder on cocaine.
Isn't Zack Ryder already on cocaine?
Or even more cocaine, I mean.
Mojo Rawley is Zack Ryder's slightly less talented, much more annoying twin.
Slightly. That's putting it lightly.
Yeah, he's actually really bad at everything.
One of his signature moves is yelling hammer time and trusting his
His ass?
No, worse, his dick.
crotch.
Yes,
Wait, he actually does that?
yes.
I haven't even seen that.
He does it. He does it into a sitting double X handle to a downed opponent.
Yeah.
He has hammer
Oh, yeah.
time. He has hammer time. He does the people's elbow setup. Then he starts dancing or whatever, thrusting his crotch, and then he does the double X handle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wait, is it a Bronco Buster, or is he just like,
No, he's just stupid, basically.
he's just stupid? That's a pretty solid explanation. I think that's all I need to know.
Yeah. And aside from him, so there's 7 people that are going to be in it that haven't been announced. So obviously those 7 people are going to be the surprises.
Yeah, but everyone could have been a surprise. They missed out on the opportunity.
Yep. Pretty much.
I watched a simulation of the Royal Rumble today. It was interesting to say the least. I mean,
How do they
it was.
account for the 7 people who aren't there?
Huh?
How do they account for the 7 people they don't know?
They made it up from the rumors. Like, they added Shaq, they added Ellsworth, or was he announced? I don't know. They added Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
You may not know
I
this.
honestly had forgotten about Gilbert until you just mentioned him right now.
I'm back.
You may not know this, Alex, but Shaq is a legitimate possibility for the Royal Rumble because they are actually setting it up for him to face the Big Show at WrestleMania.
I believe I actually heard about that. Wasn't there? Didn't they do something with Shaq last year?
Yep.
Didn't he interfere in like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
Yep.
Uh,
I heard Aaron say something entirely different than he actually said, so I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. So the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, they're still doing that.
Yeah, and you know who won last WrestleMania? Baron Corbin.
I thought Baron Corbin won the first time.
no, that's Cesaro.
It was Cesaro, Big Show, and then Baron Corbin.
Okay, right. And your prize for winning is that you turn into Andre the Giant, right?
No.
Yes. No, actually, you get him as a stand.
Your
A
prize.
statue, yes.
Oh my God, Addy! Seriously, did you just? Okay, did you make that reference because you watch Best Friends Play, or did you make that reference because you actually watched that show?
I made that reference because I can't bloody escape it.
Yeah,
And if I-
keep
and if I-
referencing that damn show, and I can't
Yes.
figure it out.
And if I say it enough, it will die. Hopefully.
If you
Your
say it, it's
prize.
dying.
Your prize.
Eddie, are you saying that if you say things, then they will die?
Yes.
Can you really quickly say Woody Allen for me?
Woody Allen.
Okay, let's just get the hit list going here. Who's next? That's another thing for another time. We'll do it off recording.
Yeah.
Those of you at home don't need more evidence. Anyhow, what were we talking about? I've completely forgotten.
As for the winner of the Under the Giant Battle Royale, their prize is to job to John Cena 11 months after they win it. Like that.
Ooh, that's a top prize there.
Yep.
Only the best get to lose.
Yep. It only took Baron Corbin about 11 months to job to John Cena.
Usually people do it in a lot quicker.
Yeah. I'll give them that. They actually kind of put some stock into him, but I think they're done with him now.
I would
That
hope so.
defines every move WWE has made in the last 5 years other than Rollins.
Yep.
That's a fact.
And I like
Now
Rollins.
I assume the Royal Rumble actually isn't the only match that's occurring at the Royal Rumble event. So what else have we got going on there?
John Cena versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship.
Roman Reigns and Kevin
Wait,
Owens
AJ
with
Styles?
yeah.
What's going on with Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the Universal title, while Chris Jericho is hanging in a shark cage, I believe, is a thing.
Unless Roman Reigns
Oh,
happens
now
to
that
like,
sounds like a real wrestling match.
It
I
sounds
will-
like
Bullshit.
WCW
It's
Nitro, doesn't it?
I watched I watched the Raw Go Home show on Monday, and I thought it was a pretty cool spot where Jericho was hanging from the cage, and Roman Superman punched him and he fell. It was kind of cool. It was like I hadn't seen it before, so.
Wait, the cage isn't bullshit? There's actually someone hanging in a cage?
Yes, Chris Jericho will be locked in a shark cage, and he will be hanging like the Money in the Bank contract.
If tomorrow they don't have a spot where the match becomes so overbooked, where Owens ends up knocked out somehow, and then Roman Superman punches the cage down onto Owens, I'm not watching because I already know otherwise the match will be absolutely horrible ring work wise.
Yep.
Aaron sounds very determined about this.
He wants to see Owens die, apparently. 'Cause that
There
cage-
has to be some cool spot with Roman Owens in the cage.
You
Next one.
expect far too much of WWE, Aaron.
I do expect far too much. It's a terrible thing being idealistic when you're young.
I'm actually pretty excited for the Styles and Cena match because
Of course
they've
you
already
are.
well, okay, yes, I love AJ Styles, but
Well,
also
that is two great wrestlers. People don't give Cena credit, but that's two pretty damn good workers.
yeah.
Two guys that have defined the past 10 or 20 years of wrestling, honestly.
Well, you're giving Styles too much credit. You have to remember he's working in the Indies and ROH and TNA for most of that time.
So
Right,
what?
he may have worked for shitty companies, but that doesn't change that he was still one of the damn best workers it's been.
No, but to say he defined the business, you're kind of stretching it, dude.
I don't think so at all. He worked
Well-
in the second.
He was the only thing that TNA was the one that was behind WWE. TNA never, was never huge, but AJ Styles almost brought it close.
AJ Styles was the face of the second biggest company in America. So I mean,
The second biggest company in America, Steve.
you know what I mean? Wrestling company.
Yeah, AJ Styles is the face of Windows. Microsoft. It's not Windows. Windows is the program.
No,
I'm not
no,
good at technology. Hulk Hogan is the face of Microsoft. Yeah. What you gonna do, brother? When I don't have a joke here. Shit.
Do you need
One-
help with that, brother? Like
One
Clippy,
of the
he
first
just
times-
jumps up on Windows 10. Actually, you can set Cortana to be Hulk Hogan. He abuses the M-word a lot.
You can't stop these updates, brother.
Oh my gosh, I
He'll be in
hate
the
that
middle
about
of doing
Windows 10.
business, and he'll just leg drop your programs there. The updates are coming.
It's not LEG, it's LAG, leg drop.
He'll lag
program.
drop your Skype calls. Boo. Anyhow, so AJ Styles versus Cena, that'll be a good match. Reigns
I don't
versus
think I'm
Owens,
watching
that's
that
gonna be a
match, though.
shitty match.
Yes, the thing that we don't realize about Reigns and Owens is that it's building towards a Chris Jericho and a Paul match at WrestleMania.
Yep.
He's gonna be hanging onto it by like his pants. It's gonna be hooked onto his pants, and he's just gonna be hanging up there. Like, anytime now, guys.
Or like, you know how Jericho has like that kind of gay rocker image these days?
Aaron.
Like how when he comes to the ring, like, come on, you guys, come on, this is a thing in Japan, just proceed, let me continue.
I see what Aaron's saying.
Yeah, and then you guys remember when Shawn Michaels
Right,
got
but
like
he could have
stuck to
chose a
the...
better way to start it off.
Can I continue? And then you guys remember when Shawn
Well, hey,
Michaels
based
like
off the
ring gear
start,
got
there's
stuck
no.
to like stuck to the entrance ramp, right? Since Jericho's wearing so much similar chains or whatever to him as part of his jacket or whatever, what if he's hanging to the pole by those all those
The jacket's
buckles?
electronic, so if they snag a wire, it'll zap everyone in the ring, which admittedly would be pretty entertaining. But...
They got rid of that jacket.
Oh, they did?
For what?
Yes, Styles cut it up before their match at WrestleMania.
And he just stopped wearing them since then?
Yes, he now
Yeah.
wears a scarf instead of it, and a
Wait,
mustache.
Styles hasn't been around for a year now, has he?
Yes, he
Styles
has.
is on SmackDown.
That's insane. Styles has been wrestling with the WWE for a year now. That's crazy.
And he's been the WWE champion for 140 days.
Crap.
I think we have a Styles mark here.
Well then,
I've actually never watched a Styles match.
I'm an absolute Styles mark, and I'll admit it through and through. But I'm not gonna be jizzing over him. But other matches that are going to be at the Royal Rumble.
You're just gonna
I
be
nearly
using
spit
his
up my
general
water.
direction, aren't you, Steve?
You're gonna have a dry finish to Styles.
No, he's gonna be jizzing in Styles' general direction.
So Ted steps out of the call for 1 second, and it ends up like this.
It's going to be phenomenal.
See, this is why I have to be here, because you guys just evolve into this crap. Gramps isn't even there. Gramps isn't on the mic anymore. Gramps walked away. Gramps,
I thought you said I don't participate.
He fell
So-
asleep.
When you do participate, it's shit.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Just-
here. I
just
just
accept
have this
it.
thing about interrupting people, and you guys are talking, and it sounds good, so I'm just sitting quietly listening to you guys.
Okay, Gramps, you got anything to say about the Royal Rumble?
Well, my prediction is The Undertaker, so not
You
that I'll
still-
be right, or I'm saying I'll be right, it's just my prediction. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year, and so is Cena supposed to face AJ Styles at the Rumble as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that'll be a really good match. I agree with Steve on that. Two really good workers, and I also really like AJ Styles, so I think it should be a good match.
Is Undertaker still alive?
Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
exactly.
He's in the
Whatever.
Rumble. He's in the
Whatever.
Rumble.
I thought they were just like putting him on strings and sticks and marionetting him into the ring.
No.
Well, he's the dead man, so who knows?
Whatever
It's
matches are
been
on
that
the
way
card.
the entire time. It's actually just Vince wearing his skin.
I
Yeah.
read-
It's me all along, Austin.
I read a dirt sheet that said that Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens will be that first, like, legitimate gay couple that the WWE has been talking about having.
Oh,
Probably not.
God.
Okay, yeah. Let's not turn this political, guys.
It'll be hilarious though, cause they're both Canadian.
Oh well, birds of a
You know,
feather.
the first official gay couple should be the gay hairstyler Kalisto and Sin Cara. I stand by that.
Wasn't Rico already a gay
Yeah, and
hairstylist?
they have
But-
to kiss Sin Cara's mask.
Yes. The Aaron, the thing I'm talking about is that the people rumored that when Kalisto gets called up, he'll be a gay hairstyler.
Kalisto hasn't been called up yet. I thought he'd
He
been
has
like
been.
with him for years.
He has been just people when he was getting called up. Before that, people rumored that he'd be a gay hairstyler. Also, do you remember that people rumored that Neville would be the Mighty Mouse or whatever?
Yep.
Well, look at him like a couple of months back before he turned heel. What would you call that?
Mighty Mouse. Actually, I call that happy to be here because he had no personality before he turned heel.
Wait, who?
Neville.
Neville, that's my bro.
He's pretty cool now.
Aaron, how come we've never learned that you're the brother of Neville?
Cause I don't need to tell everyone my business. The hell is wrong with you, guy?
He's a British white guy. How is that possible?
Hey man,
Don't you judge him.
life is unpredictable, dude.
Alright, I have the match cards
Ted says
up.
Ted said that Ted said that he could be Aaron's father, so naturally Ted's probably Neville's father too.
Cause Ted is old enough to be my father, guy. Not cause some kind
No,
of.
I thought he said that he could be your father, like implying that how he sleeps
No.
around.
No,
Slept around.
no, that's. You missed it. You missed it.
You guys suck.
Alright,
You
going back to
suck.
the Rumble. I have the match cards on my phone ready. So, first we have Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax or whatever. The Veil.
No stealer right there.
Nothing to say here. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I
Wait,
don't
who
care.
versus Neville?
Neville isn't even in the match, Aaron. It's Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax.
Who
Oh
cares?
yeah, absolute show
Alright.
stealer.
If that match doesn't end with Nia Jax leg dropping Sasha Banks like right in her main section, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Why specifically
No.
there?
Because
Actually-
I'm trying to see Sasha Banks injured.
Actually, Aaron, it will end like the Mickey James Trish Stratus match where Mickey James fingers Trish
I know.
in
Oh,
on the
gosh,
actual thing.
stop.
Oh
Stop.
yeah. No. Please no.
Two of the wrong women. Those are two of
Okay.
the most. Just proceed. Just proceed.
All right.
Okay, so
Then we have Cesaro and Sheamus
okay, so I
versus
just
yeah,
Versus who?
versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
The club.
Sure, I might consider watching that.
An interesting thing about this match is that there are two referees.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because in their match 2 weeks ago, or it might have been this week actually, like the referee got knocked out, and that's why.
Oh, so they're trying to keep two refs at once?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a very overbooked match.
Yeah.
the ref getting knocked out has not changed anything before. Why does it change things now?
Because.
They don't want to waste time. We have a Royal Rumble match later in the night.
They're two good brothers.
Then
Yeah, I don't know anything about what's going on in WWE. I can't believe Luke Gallows is back because that guy is just like the definition of bland, it seemed to me, when he was around.
He's a lot more interesting now that he's with Carl Anderson. Like, as a team.
Is that some Japan dude?
Yeah.
He was part of the Bullet Club in Japan, yes, and never tall gaijin.
Hold up a second, let me...
alright, should I continue or?
Just continue.
Alright, then we have Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and now Naomi versus Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya.
I would watch
still
that.
There? The Bella Twins are still there, are you shitting me?
Oh,
Well,
Only
yeah.
one of them. Only one
of them.
Which one?
The other one's coming
Nikki.
back after she's done being pregnant.
Nikki Bella has not left yet.
No.
She sucks
No, not
shit
yet.
at being a gold digger. For her to have not retired yet just to live with Cena.
She
She used to work on her gold digging skills.
Nikki Bella has improved a lot in the ring.
I don't believe that.
I
don't
wouldn't
believe it?
care.
I don't know. When I stopped watching around that time, that was when she started using that backbreaker finisher that I actually quite liked.
The rack
So
attack.
I'm inclined to think that if she continued to focus on trying to become more of a powerhouse, then I'd like it if just for adding more diversity to the Divas, or not Divas, women's roster.
That's what she
But
did.
at the same time, she's always been garbage and always struck me as just there because she's a pretty face who makes money.
well,
That
She's
would
like-
mean, that
she's
would mean
black.
that you're considering Nikki Bella pretty.
But I don't care. You know I don't care. But she strikes me as a remnant of the old Divas roster that were all there not because they were talented wrestlers, but because John Laurinaitis thought they were hot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Alright, so then we have Rich Swann versus Neville.
Oh, I
All right,
hope
wait, hold up a second. You guys are going to sit here talking wrestling for a while, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, because I need to go have dinner real quick. I'll try to come back when you guys are talking about something other than wrestling.
We're
Alright.
making the podcast great again.
See ya. Shut up, Idol. Later.
Hello.
So,
So, yeah.
I hope that Swan gets destroyed.
Me too.
I'm not watching
That-
that match, even though I like Neville.
You know that Rich Swan's the longest reigning cruiserweight champion.
That is.
Did you know that I make a render of Rich Swann on the forum?
You make
You
what?
did a what?
A render of Rich Swann.
Oh, I don't want to see it.
You probably saw it already. It was in the cruiserweight thread when he
Oh.
won the cruiserweight championship. Huh?
I said that. I'll have to go look at that.
Even though I make fun of Rich Swann for having no sense of how to work a match in terms of telling a story, and that he shucks ducks and dives or whatever they call it, like a literal coon. I think he
What?
has a very charming smile.
What you're saying is that he shucky ducky quack quacks.
Around the ring, yes. Which is why I'm not watching that match, even though Neville's in it.
Alright, then we have Charlotte. I refuse to say Flair after that.
Why?
Because it's stupid to add Flair to her name. Just
Why?
because
Her
she,
name is
she didn't need it.
But she earned it.
like she's the Ric Flair of her generation.
She's even better because Ric Flair was not all that much of like good in the ring as she is.
I thought you'd say that Ric Flair wasn't as hot.
Well,
Ric Flair was a beautiful man back in the day.
I-
Watch some of his old matches from 1984.
if I had a gun to my head, I don't know, it'd kind of be a toss up between the two.
What?
But yes. Anyways, so Charlotte versus Bailey.
That will be a pretty good match, I guess.
Yeah, I'll
And
watch that.
I don't understand the reason why they did, because the only thing I heard about it is that Bailey wrote some shitty poems and Charlotte made fun of her for it, and that's the match.
Yeah, and I heard those promos were bad.
Yeah, they were really bad.
Oh my.
Then we have the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns Shark Cage match.
That'll be incredible.
That was sarcasm, by the way, for those watching at home.
Yeah, because there's people that are watching that aren't at home.
Well, they're not actually watching, just listening, but they get the point.
I heard an interesting spot that people thought for this match is that Kevin Owens swings from the Shark Cage's underside onto a prone Roman Reigns.
Oh, you know
Doing
what
a
I just
senton.
You know what really ridiculous thing I just came up with? What if Kevin Owens did like a 480 flip off the cage onto Roman, who's lying prone on a an announce table, and just drives him through, and the match just ends no contest.
You know that
What if Kevin Owens did a 450 off the cage?
Didn't I just say that?
Well, not exactly. I mean, you said to the outside. I didn't really. No, actually,
Yeah,
you didn't say that 450. Actually, you said like 470 or no 420 or something. I didn't really.
20 off the cage!
Stop. It's still the end of January, guys. Come on.
Anyways,
Can we not make crappy 420 jokes yet?
420 off the cage! Okay, so what's the next match?
yes, the next match is AJ Styles versus John Cena.
Oh, is that like the main event besides the Royal Rumble match?
Yes.
It deserves it.
That'll probably be a good match, but I don't have intentions on viewing it.
Now they should really make it a death match, I think, because then we could answer it if John Cena could be seen if a bunch of pain is thrown onto him.
So do you guys think that Styles will retain or Cena will go to WrestleMania?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I think Styles will retain. They're putting a lot of oomph behind him.
I think that they'll have Cena take it off of Styles for WrestleMania, and then I think they'll put it back on Styles after WrestleMania.
If but if they're gonna, honestly, I don't know how they're gonna execute, or if they'll ever execute John Cena tying Flair's record for most world championships.
Well, they're about to do it on tomorrow night, dude.
How do you know that?
Because he's gonna beat Styles. Like, it's gonna happen.
How do you know that?
Styles is not going to main event WrestleMania in his first year in the company.
Exactly, it's gonna be the people on Raw who's main eventing.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, it's whoever wins the Rumble, depending on what brand they're on. You know, it could be Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton would main event.
Now, what if
No, but
Shaq
then
would
Randy
win?
Orton's on SmackDown, so like, well, then again, that's true because he is the Rumble winner, but I guess he'll only compete for a SmackDown Championship due to the brand split.
Alright, and after that we have the Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
For which do you want me to read the list of names appearing in it?
Sure,
Not
So we
really.
have-
It'll probably be a bunch of jobbers.
it is.
to fill up space.
Also, why is Goldberg on Raw?
Because
Because Raw's the big show, and Goldberg is a big name that
Raw
has
is
returned.
Raw is the big show. I thought it was SmackDown beef.
why is Undertaker on Raw? Undertaker
He
actually
isn't.
came on SmackDown.
Undertaker is brand fluid. Thank you very much.
Actually, he was drafted to SmackDown. I'm not making that up.
No, they said Undertaker and Triple H and Brock Lesnar were a few guys that can't be drafted to any
Brandon,
brand.
That's bullcrap. Brock Lesnar got drafted to Raw. Look it up.
Steve, you don't just you don't just assume Undertaker's brand.
I'm not assuming it. He said that.
You
that
you have to ask him first, so he won't be offended.
Undertaker.
I hate you people. I'm gone. Better get back in here.
Undertaker showed up on SmackDown though.
Exactly.
He showed up on SmackDown, but he's mostly on Raw. Come on, guys. Come
Well,
on.
technically, according to Wikipedia, anyways, he isn't on either brand.
You know, yeah. Well, Wikipedia also says that George Bush is a gorilla. So shut up.
What?
Yeah, it does. It says that like there have been multiple edits of his thing where people have tried to say that he came from a gorilla.
Oh wow. People have a lot of time on their hands.
Sometimes
What?
people do it with Barack Obama too, but I think that's racist.
Well, anyways, so yeah, we have Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, anyways, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, Undertaker, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Luke Harper, Big Show, Sami Zayn, Big Cass, Rusev, and Mojo Rawley.
Who eliminates Braun Strowman?
Everyone.
Shaq.
Imagine.
Wrong
Check-
answer. Braun Strowman wins.
Are you stupid? Curtis Axel.
No, I think Braun Strowman is in the middle of changing his gimmicks. He will become a what is it? A liberal hipster. No, he will become a liberal hipster. His name will be Bro Strawman.
Braun Strowman.
That
Yes.
was pretty good.
That's
That was
excellent.
pretty good. Braun Strowman.
That's
I
excellent.
like that.
So, does anyone else have like predictions for who could possibly win the Rumble other than Undertaker?
I mean, I'd probably go with the Undertaker or Goldberg.
Yeah, me too. Or if they really want to piss me off, then Mojo Rawley.
That's not happening.
Not happening.
What
There-
if?
There is one I thought I don't really think he'll win, but there's another one I thought that could be a possibility, and that's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that too. That's
Maybe.
because he's never won. He's never won one, so.
He's never won it, and if Owens keeps the title, I mean, I could see a potential Owens Jericho match at WrestleMania. But
Actually, they could do his or they could make his entrance just him being lowered from the shark cage.
That's true.
I know this is still quite early, but since it's like Royal Rumble season, like it's just tomorrow, I think this is about the time we begin to make WrestleMania predictions. What are you guys thinking this year's WrestleMania will be like?
I think it'll be pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be kind of lackluster.
Well, the
Nope.
the WrestleMania 20 reimagining with Undertaker, Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar in a
That's gonna
triple
be
threat
terrible.
with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the referee will be interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, no, there will be 3 referees. One of them will be Hulk Hogan. Another will be Chris Benoit, and the third will be Jimmy Snuka.
Chris Benoit.
Oh, it's a good. Oh man, you should have saved that until Alex was here. I'd love to see him. I'd love to hear him get his Jimmy's rustled.
So yeah, that's all we have for the Rumble. And also this really freaking pretty poster.
Wait, you forgot about Jimmy Snuka. He's gonna be in it.
Yes, Crackhead Hooker Killer, Jimmy Snuka.
Superfly. So, as for like the main event, I doubt. Okay, so Roman Reigns is gonna beat Kevin Owens because whoever wins the Rumble is gonna be from Raw, and they're not having Kevin Owens main event WrestleMania. Like that's not even in question.
What are you guys thinking about Rollins versus Triple H?
I don't like. I have medium hopes for it because Triple H can still put on a match, just only with the right people.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H is Triple H, so he could just potentially. What I'm hoping is, at best, Triple H will like, especially now that Rollins is taking like a more like actual like psychological approach to like his in ring work. Now that after his injury, I think at best Triple H could bring that like he could bring him more out in him. Like he could kind of give him like the Orton treatment, where like you get in the ring with Orton, you just come out, you just get in there and you do better. You do better than you've ever had before in your life. Which is why I still think that one match Dean Ambrose had with Orton on Raw was his best match to date.
Yep.
But at worst, that match is gonna be absolute trash, and it's gonna make me cry.
I really like Rollins. Like, a lot of people dislike him. I like Rollins. I just wish that he stopped using the pedigree because he's really bad.
His pedigree is, before he got injured, his pedigree was absolute. It was just bad. It was just bad. I can name 20 horrific things I'd rather view than that pedigree. However, after his injury, it just became terribly inconsistent. Like, it's not even consistently terrible anymore. Sometimes he lands it really solid, and other times it's even worse than before he got injured. It's just like, come on, guy. Find yourself a new finisher that you can have fully faith in. That can execute 100%, 125% of the time, guy.
Yeah, and he has a billion cool moves that he could use, like his package brain buster thing he does. That thing's pretty cool. I don't know why he doesn't use that.
I don't think that he will. You have to get permission to use such a move like that first.
Gift.
What?
I believe he used to call that move God's little gift or something like that.
No, that's the
give.
That's the Evidavra Kadavra, I think.
Avada Kedavra?
Yeah.
The Avada Kedavra.
The Avada.
Hold up, let me look this shit up.
Or
I think the
that's
Avada
either
Kedavra was a super kick.
That's either the Avada Kedavra of a Skywalker that used to be called God's something gift, but
God's last gift was the package brain buster he did.
oh.
Alex, you missed me announcing that the main event of WrestleMania, whatever the next one is a reimagining of WrestleMania 20's I think it was main event, whatever, featuring Goldberg, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar with 3 referees, them being Hulk Hogan, Chris Benoit, and Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, you're joking. Okay. Up until you said Jimmy Snuka, I was like, God, no.
How would Chris Benoit work?
Oh, I completely missed that. Going through my mind, I just heard Goldberg, Lesnar, Hogan. I was like, oh, this sounds like something stupid enough that WWE might just do it.
I think the one good thing that might come out of a most likely terrible match between Seth Rollins and Triple H is that due to their feud, Seth might just stop using the pedigree.
I would love that.
And if Triple H does the pedigree to him twice and shows him how it's really done, that would be the absolute bestest.
Hunter does the pedigree to a person twice. I think he kills him.
No.
Apparently, you're pretty indecisive about this.
Are you sure?
I honestly don't really look forward to, Rollins versus Hunter because I just don't care.
Yeah, I just don't care because I don't think them. Even though I'm a huge Triple H fan, I don't think the match is gonna be good, and I never cared for Seth Rollins before he got injured, and even after he got injured, even though he got better, I still don't care for him.
I like Hunter, but I hate all 3 Shield guys, so I don't care.
Roman is my son, but even he lets me down.
I bet he does that all the time.
Yes, he lets me down.
He has not had very many bad pay-per-view matches though in the past year.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on the subject. How long have you guys been going over the wrestling thing?
Since you left?
I mean, like, how long have we been going over it the whole time?
Since you left, plus before you left.